This video has been rated B for Beast.
What's going on, everyone? I am Saint Lucifer, and welcome to the Devil's Hangout. Now, real quick about this gameplay, I do go 47-1 this gameplay. It is a double swarm nuclear fail. I get to a 23 gun streak and then end up dying, mainly just because I was stupid and reloaded when I didn't have to. You know, shit happens. But as you see, I'm using the MSMC. I honestly don't remember if I had any attachments on it yet, because I don't normally run with MSMC on Xbox, but ended up working out. I do go a pretty good streak before I end up dying and get lucky a lot of the times. As you see right there, I just got lucky in the art room. But there's a couple things I'm going to talk about today. Primarily one thing is something that I grew up doing, something that I actually ended up going to college for on a scholarship, which is basketball. Now, basketball is probably one of the best things I'm at, mainly just because it's one of the sports that I actually worked on the most. I'll be dead serious, dead set with you right now. I used to be the tallest person my age all the way up until I turned 13. Once I hit 13, I stopped growing completely. So I've been 5'10" since I was 13 years old. Growing up playing basketball, I was a center. So I was the dude that just stood in the middle of the paint. My coach never wanted me to shoot, so I didn't really do any scoring or anything huge like that until I got until about the 5th grade. And then my coach just had the team just toss me the ball, since I was so much taller than everybody, turn around and just throw it in the hoop. But as I got older, I realized I wasn't growing as much, so I wanted to start working on some stuff. Primarily my left hand, my ball handling, and a little bit of my shooting. Now, for those of you who are big basketball fans, who like street ball or anything type like that, if you've ever heard of And One Street Ball or used to watch the TV show Street Ball on ESPN, the professor is actually a guy that I grew up with, that I used to play basketball with every day. Now, he is the same height as me. He has a little bit longer reach than me, but we weigh about the same. Actually, no, I weigh a little bit more than he does. But because of him, my ball handling went crazy. We would seriously play one-on-one full court for hours, just trying to do stuff to each other, trying to get each other better. And when I finally started playing a lot more and got a lot better, it was about the time I think my sophomore year is when I really started developing my game. I started working on a lot more things to the point where to be a point guard. So I basically went from being a center to a point guard within a matter of 2 years. But on that note, getting that transition and getting the ball handling that I ended up getting, I do play a lot better now, since I did take 3 years off after high school from basketball, where I didn't even touch the basketball. Went with a friend to his college where he had a full ride scholarship to, and played in one of the open gyms just for fun because I felt like playing. And I ended up getting a full ride scholarship because I had one left. Now granted, it was a JUCO, it wasn't a community college, so it's nothing great. I'm not going to say I'm one of the best players in the world, but kind of made myself feel a little bit more prideful to the fact that, you know, taking 3 years off after high school and I can still compete against these kids straight out of high school, 18 years old and they're 19 years old, who have never stopped playing, where they're constantly playing all the time. There are a lot of things that I worked on to get better. I actually made my own drill, my shooting program, which right now I do on the side personal basketball training, where I actually develop high school kids' shots. So far, the percentage on that I've actually seen increase overall. As one team that I actually helped out, a whole team, was a 55% increase on their shot. Now, the best person I've ever seen have their shot increase was actually a 65% increase on their shot, and that's counting 3 points in and in. And if you guys want, I can get actually more into detail on the fundamentals, on the technique and everything, on how you can improve stuff like that if you do like to play basketball a lot. Now granted, I am from Oregon. Basketball ain't shit here, I'll tell you that right now. Pretty much every gym I walk into I destroy. It's not hard at all. Unless I go up to Portland, which is the major city in Oregon, and I start playing over there. Then it gets a little more what I'm used to, where you call a foul, the basket don't count. So if you go call a foul, you got to make sure it's going to be a good foul to the point where you can't shoot. And on top of that, if you're going up for a layup or trying to drive in at all, you got to make sure you go into some strength and make sure you're ready to rip through some people. Otherwise, you're just going to get pushed around and knocked around like crazy. And basically, people will call you a bitch. But let me know if you want to hear more about that, and I can talk a little more into detail. A little background for me in basketball. I was varsity for 3 years in high school. And as you know, I played in college for 1 year. I actually went back after my first year because my mother got cancer, so I came back to home to take care of her. And I ended up hurting my knee a little bit, so I redshirted my first year in college anyway. I did actually have 2 knee surgeries while I was in high school on my right knee. It sucked because it actually made me lose my scholarship, full-ride scholarship to a Division II school here in Oregon. So that did suck, but that's one reason why I kind of slowed down on playing and didn't really want to continue going over and over again. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it short. Let me know if that's something you guys are interested in talk about. I actually do play baseball right now as well too in a city men's league. I do play softball as well. I've played football, but they actually wouldn't let me play anymore. So as far as sports-wise, if you have any questions or want to know any history about me on the sports, let me know, and I can go ahead and put that in the next Devils Hangout for you. Until then, y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the 20 seconds of gameplay, and Lucifer out.
Friendly counter UAV inbound. Brought the pain. Time to get paid.